both you guys, just jumping right into it. Memphis on Friday. What's the scouting report on those guys, and what kind of opportunity does this present for the team?
To be completely honest, we haven't really dug too deep into them yet. Probably start that process today, but Coach kind of mentioned to us yesterday after practice that they played. I think a couple guys sat down and watched the game last night, kind of just get a feel for them. But as of right now, we don't really know too much detail. We know they're a highly talented team, and we just have to be ready to play.
Like Camron just said, I know you guys haven't really seen too much film, but ask Coach about this Jalen Duran, Imani Bates, two top players from last year's class. I mean, obviously it's a very tall order, a tall task. When you think of those guys and the rest of their team, from what you at least know, what's the game plan for you? Battling those guys.
Like Cam said, it's a good team, good players. We just got to come out, play our game, and do as Coach says, and I think we can come out on top.
You had a good game against Minnesota despite the loss. You had a career high, obviously 34 points. What was working for you then, and how can you get even better entering Friday?
Really, teammates trusted me, got to the foul line a lot, trusted my shot, and it happened.
Cam, first of all, congratulations. How did it feel to just get back out there and be playing a game with Western Kentucky again on Sunday?
To be completely honest, man, it's kind of just like a surreal moment right now. I don't even know if it's actually like processed into my mindset yet that I'm really back playing again. But it's fun. It's going to be a journey. It's a long journey, and I know that my task is to be that veteran leader and bring some experience to this team.
What was this whole process like? Coach said it kind of went back to, I think, the 2019-20 year last year here when it all started. But what's this kind of whole thing been like? Can you walk me through the story?
It's been a long process, to be completely honest. It started back into July, and it was kind of just one of those things where Stansbury sat me down and we kind of discussed it. At that point, I didn't really know it was an option, but they kind of sat down with me and told me the whole process, this and that, blah, 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 and we just went step by step of what the NCAA asked, and then here I am today sitting on this side of it again. So.
You guys obviously have your practice jerseys on. What was practice like? Ask Coach, what are you guys going to work on this week? Kind of touch on that, either of you guys?
Probably looking for Friday's game, the scout. We practice at 2 o'clock, so we don't know yet.
That's for either of you. You create a lot of turnovers, but you also had a lot of turnovers. So what do you have to do to limit those turnovers?
I feel like our turnovers were self-inflicted. We did our own turnovers, just give them bad passes and stuff like that. I feel like if we just take care of the ball, we'd be in a better position.
Cam, kind of jumping back, that academic advisor role, I guess, what was that like for you when you were, working that over the summer and whatnot? And, I guess practice-wise, how were you mixed in kind of while you were waiting kind of word on your eligibility?
Well, I mean, to be completely honest, I wasn't really allowed to practice like I needed to. So really at this point, I'm just trying to get back in shape and then go from there. But, I mean, on the academic side of things, it was kind of just it's weird. It was weird for me to be a player my whole life and then change over to that aspect where it was more of a business feel. I had to stay on top of guys about going to class and getting their homework done and this and that. And so it was weird for me. A lot of these guys I played with. So, I mean, I played with Josh. There was a couple guys on this team that are older, like Jarius and JB and Keith, that, I kind of grew up playing against when I was playing. So it's kind of funny to be this age and then being that mentor for them and kind of instructing them on what they needed to do. And I'm going to take that same aspect that I learned from that field and roll it over to this side. So I think it's going to be an advantageous thing for me.
Dayvion, I mean, one thing, we're only 3 games in, but I've noticed is that you're shooting a lot better than last year. I mean, specifically, you're shooting better from 3. You made 4 last year. You've already made 2. Is that something you've worked on through the offseason and just have a lot more confidence?
Yeah. Confidence was a big thing over the summer. Reps and confidence. I felt like getting up as many shots as I could really helped my confidence and helping me shoot better.
Dayvion, touching off what Brett just asked, I remember during media day you talked about how you wanted to be more of a leader this year, despite being sophomore, more vocal. And it seems like your play hasn't just translated that, but even on the court you seem more vocal. How much more of a leader do you feel like you've become this year? How much more of a leader can you become?
I feel like I took a huge role in leadership this year. We got a whole lot of new faces, new guys. I feel like some of them just come to me because I was here last year. But for us to be a great team, I feel like I need to take a bigger responsibility and leadership for us to go where we need to go.
Having this guy next to you, obviously, you talk about leadership, very wise and experienced. You know, what have you learned from him? And you know, obviously we've asked him, but like from seeing what he's done, how has he already made an impact on the team?
Yeah, Cam he's an old guy, so he's a grandpa of the team now, and everybody looks up to him, even me. So having him back is gonna help.
You know, Cam, I know you talked about how you got back, but what made you, want to come back a couple years later?
Just my competitive nature and my will and my love for the game ultimately just outpowered everything else. And I think what I can do can help this team achieve what we want to in the end, and I think just putting both of those together just made for the right decision.
We talked about slow starts early in these games, but in the second half you start off fast. So how do you start off fast, at the beginning of the game instead of in the second half?
That's really focus. I feel like we need to focus more coming off a pregame warm-up and start the game how we need to.
Anything else for these guys?
Cam, Rick says being a married man will kind of change your perspective on things from Friday to Sunday. I guess, how has your perspective changed on the basketball court?
Are you talking about last weekend?
Yeah, this past weekend, yeah, the one you got married on.
It was an interesting decision. Obviously when we got the waiver granted on Wednesday, Coach's first call to me was, "Are you playing on Friday?" And my first response was not, "Yes, I'm playing." It was, "Let me talk to my future-to-be wife, and we'll discuss that, and I'll get back to you." So it was an interesting journey, but me and her sat down and had the discussion, and I felt like it was more important for me to be there with her than it was these guys, and I knew that they could take care of it. Obviously, wish some things would have been different for the game, but I was happy to be there on Sunday. And like I said, it's just really like it's such a surreal moment right now for me, and like it really hasn't processed yet. But I'm excited to be here.
I actually want to have one last question for you, Dayvion. I know your all's team this year, and Memphis' team is very different from last year. But one thing Coach said that no matter how this game goes, win or lose, it'll make you guys better. Kind of touch on that. What did you learn from that win last year? And no matter how this game goes, what can you guys take away from it regardless?
No matter the outcome, I know if we stick together, play hard, play with each other as a team, we'll get a win. This team, we don't stop fighting. I learned that the past 2 games, even though we get down a lot, we keep going, even though we can try to come out and win.